Kaboom.
Welcome back, everyone. This is part 2 of the King's Castle. King James along with Blair Chopin.
Hello.
And tonight we're breaking down the matches for SummerSlam, which you can see this Sunday only on the WWE Network.
Presented by
But now I want to focus on more of the middle card. And we're going to start with John Cena versus AJ Styles 2. Now, as you saw at Money in the Bank,
Shawty, what you think?
the club, Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson got involved and helped AJ Styles beat John Cena. So therefore, Styles drew first blood. But this time, Styles goes into it by himself because Gallows and Anderson are on Raw. So, my question to you, Blair, is, you really think Styles still has a clear psychological edge because this time he's got nobody watching his back?
That's an interesting question, King. I don't really know where this one is, how this one's going to go.
Well, really, I truly think this is a match about jealousy. And Styles has been gloating for weeks about how his favorite thing to do is beat up John Cena.
Mine too.
Honestly, I think Styles' attitude's gonna play right into Cena's hand. Cena's got this one in the bag.
But my counterpoint to that would be that I could see Cena being a huge fan favorite, winning at one of the biggest events of the year. I think that makes a lot of sense, and I would, in general, agree with you. But just to give you the opposite argument, that Cena's main role, as we talked about ad nauseum for the past couple of years, has been to put people over. Now, I don't know if AJ Styles really needs that. He's already kind of a household name in the wrestling community.
Well, here's another thing you need to consider. We saw this past Tuesday on SmackDown Live, John Cena go into a match with Alberto Del Rio, the man who put him on the shelf last October. He won the match, and then Styles tried to blindside attack him from the broadcast booth, but then Styles was left laying after getting an attitude adjustment from Cena. So I think that may be a tease, but I still think Cena's got it.
Yeah, I would have to agree with you. A rare agreement on the King's Castle.
So we'll see where that goes. But another thing I kind of find interesting is the match between Rusev and Roman Reigns for the U.S. title. Now, this took an interesting twist this past Monday on Raw. Because as you know, Rusev and Lana tried to have that bizarre post-wedding celebration with the audience, which Roman Reigns came out there and ruined. And then Lana got a face full of cake. So then, Monday Night Raw started out with Rusev coming out to the ring and basically trying to hold the show hostage until they got an apology for what had happened. But then Reigns came out there and started talking a bunch of trash, and then Rusev agreed to face Roman Reigns in a match on Raw, one-on-one, to, in his words, defend the honor of his wife,
right,
Lana. But, in a bizarre twist, his plan backfired, and Roman Reigns got the victory.
Ooh.
Now, if you ask me, that's kind of an omen for the title match.
Okay.
What do you think?
Yeah, I'm not sure where to go on this one either. I could see it from both sides. I could see them trying to build up Roman's character again to the stature he was pre-suspension. But I could also see this as kind of another punishment for Roman to lose at SummerSlam.
Well, what? Let me ask you this: why would you see that as kind of a build-up? Because, as we already know, he's been kind of a mainframe guy for the better part of 6 months. So
yeah, but I mean, I'm sure the WWF was. I mean, the WWE was not happy that he had to be suspended.
Right.
He was their main event guy that took him out of commission for 30 days.
Which, by the way, he was still able to make it in for the pay-per-view. Don't forget about that.
He was, but I mean that takes away money from them if he's not wrestling. He's began to be an attraction and everything. He was finally at the point where I think the majority of fans' approval was on his side, and then he screws it up. So I know these kind of things, and I know the reason he's not like in a main event match is because of that. He screwed it up. So I would imagine they're still mad about that. I could see Rusev winning, but at the same time, are they thinking we've invested so much into this guy being one of our main guys? Should we just do something to get him back on track and going that way? So it's an interesting match from that point of view.
Maybe so. So we'll see where that goes. Now, here's where it gets kind of interesting because this was just added this past Monday. We're going to see a match between Sheamus and Cesaro. However, this is actually going to be match number 1 of a best-of-7 series between the two.
Oh, it's like a NBA playoff.
So, I got to ask you, who gets the advantage here? You want to go for a guy who loves to fight, the brawler in Sheamus, or do you choose brute strength in match number 1?
This is interesting since this is the best of 7, which I've never really heard of in wrestling before.
Oh, it's happened plenty of times. As a matter of fact, any wrestling historians or anybody who watches the WWE Network would know that back during the days of WCW, Booker T was involved in a great best-of-7 series with Chris Benoit.
Oh, God.
Which was
late Chris Benoit.
Which was actually redone in a feud over the U.S. title in WWE back in 2005.
Wait, so they redid it with those two again?
Right.
Huh, that's interesting. A little nugget of history from the King.
So it's very common to have series of matches as it relates to the spirit of competition or a series over championships like best of 5 or best of 7. But this is going to be a tough one to call. But
here's how I'd pick it. Okay, out of Cesaro and Sheamus, we would say Cesaro's more well liked, right?
Exactly. He's the big face for Sheamus is the heel.
I thought so because I can't deal with Sheamus. I don't like him at all. But
you think that Mohawk looks stupid?
I just think he's just like the fat guy at the Irish pub who, for some reason, is getting to be a pro wrestler, and he's too pale, and I don't understand it.
Oh,
he's like
you don't like his helmet, fella.
He's like the opposite of the Ecuador girl. He's a man, and he's an ugly, pale person. And I'm sorry, Shane. That was me on Sheamus. But I do know one thing, James, and I'm picking Sheamus because of that. What people like in Best of 7 series is one team getting down, like 3 games to none or 3 matches to none, and then coming back and winning.
That's very true.
So I think that's what's going to happen here. I think Cesaro eventually wins it, but he might fall down 3 matches to none, 3 matches to 1, and he's going to get cheated out of it.
So either way, let me ask you this, though.
I think there's more in it for Cesaro wins.
Now, granted, this is only match number 1, so we got a long way to go. But do you think they will go to all 7?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Well, we'll see.
If you could script like, let me ask you this: if the NBA were scripted, wouldn't every series go to 7 games?
Well,
because that's the most interesting thing, right? And you get more money off of it and more people watching. So I think it will go 7. And I think Cesaro will eventually win.
We will
in heroic fashion.
We will definitely see how that goes. And I'll tell you what, we're gonna take a little time out, and we're gonna break down the rest of the card right after this. So stay right there.
That's interesting. I didn't know they were doing a best of 7. Stupid Sheamus. Sheamus, I'm challenging you to a 1-on-1 match. You can eat it. Stupid shit.